Hey everyone, welcome back to another Monday makeup lesson. Today I'm adding another video onto our one brush application series, but this time it's not a brush, it's a sponge. And not just any sponge. It is one of those cheap triangular sponges. You can buy these in those big bags. And I'm not just showing you guys how to apply your foundation. No, I'm talking cream contouring, I'm talking blush, even reducing shine using one of these, and no powder. Oh, and cream baking. Yeah, you heard me right. Let's get started. What are you doing down there? Up. So I have my sponge right here. It's well soaked through and it's probably like doubled in size really, but it's not dripping wet. That's really important. You don't want it to be like soaking. So I'm going to start off with my concealer. I've got my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. So I just literally apply this underneath my eyes with a little applicator. For women, this is usually where we have like discoloration and also the skin is really thin around here as well as underneath the eyes. So a little bit extra coverage there. I'm not going to blend it in. I'm actually going to straight in with my foundation and blend the both of them together. Some people like to do blending first. Totally up to yourself. I'm going to now apply the Bourjois foundation. And you want to kind of cover a few areas quite close together. And it'll just cut down on how much time you spend blending really. So I've actually folded it slightly like this just to give me a bit more control because these sponges are quite flimsy and small. You're not doing a sweeping motion, you're not doing a pressing or gliding motion, you're doing a bouncing motion off and on the skin. And this will disperse the product for us and give you that airbrush finish. So it's pretty self-explanatory at this stage. Just bouncy, bouncy. If you're using a matte foundation, you actually want to do it in sections. So start off with one side of your face, apply it and blend. Because if you did this with a matte foundation where you've got it all over, it'll start to set before you get there. This is a more moisturizing foundation, so I can get away with it. But mattifying foundations set really quick. And then to get really close to the eyebrows, I'm going to use the very corner, so the flat side, to get like really close to them. Obviously I've already filled them in, so that's why I need to do this. Otherwise you just kind of go over your brows with kind of a cleaner side of the sponge and then do your brows afterwards. I actually forgot how much I love the finish you get from sponges. It's a little sheerer, yeah, but it kind of looks really natural, like skin, you know, which I really like too. Now we're going to move on to contouring and highlighting, and you need to use a cream contour and highlight because a powder will not blend properly for you, so you have to use creams instead. You might be tempted to use something like this, which is by NYX. It's the Wonder Stick. It's got a highlighter and a contour. The only thing is these don't blend out very well with a sponge. They blend better with a brush. We're actually going to use a lighter and a darker shade of foundation because we already know that the foundation blends out really nicely with this sponge. So all I'm going to do is take the foundation that I already have and mix it up with these adjusting drops. So these are by The Body Shop, but lots of brands have them. Apply 2 pumps of this on my hand. I'm going to mix up the white shade with one and then the darker shade with our other little blob. Make sure to use a different finger each time. So we have our lighter and our darker shade. Use your fingertips just to apply it. So I'm going to apply our darker shade along here, the forehead, and then the lighter shade through the center. Once you get it in the general area, then you can start to blend it out. So this side I applied foundation, this side's nice and clean. This is for our lighter one, and then for our darker one, I'm going to use the side that we did apply foundation with, just to blend it out a little bit easier for us. So I'm going to fold up the sponge again, and just start blending. I'm just doing a little sweeping motion, pressing and sweeping as I move across the skin. I'll show you how to sharpen it up in a second, so just blend it out first. This technique actually works great if you have drier skin and you can't use a lot of powders on your skin. And then take the clean side, fold it again, and this time you're going to blend out your lighter shades. And it's that same pressing motion. If you brought your contour down a little too far and you want to kind of sharpen it up, you can just use the very edge, the flat side of the brush, take a little bit of that lighter shade and literally just press it underneath, just the same way as you would to bake, and then sweep it down. And then you're going to take your sponge again and just blend that out. And it'll still give you that nice sharp line, but it'll be a little bit more dispersed and you can really see your cheekbones. I'm now going to use a highlighter. So this is a highlighter, this is highlighting. I'm going to apply a little bit of this with my fingertips to start with, and then I'm going to take the sponge, the cleanest side that you have, and it's the tip for me because I bend it over the whole time. I'm just going to blend that in. So I'm using my fingertips to start with because it's a cream product and it will kind of warm it up. So then when I go in with the sponge, which is quite cold because I use cold water, it's going to sort of set it and disperse it. I do it in like a little sweeping motion over my forehead from the arch of my brow. Moving on to blush, we're obviously going to use another cream product, so we're going to use a cream blush. I love this one. It's once again by Sleek. They're so awesome for these palettes. I'm going to just mix everything together. Applying it on the tops of the cheeks, working up towards the top of the ear by tapping. I'm going to use whatever's left over on my fingertips just to rub off on the sponge to start with, and then blend this out. I find sometimes when you use your fingertips to apply a cream blush, you end up disturbing the makeup underneath, whereas if you use a sponge, you're just dispersing the product. Now, to set everything in place, I'm not going to use the sponge to apply powder. I want to keep this dewiness. However, I have a lot of shine right here in the center. So I have typically dry skin except for right here where it's kind of oily. What I like to do is take this kind of a product. This is a mattifying primer. Sweep this over the top of your makeup. I know, it's crazy, but just watch this. Gonna dab it over this area and it will just reduce the shine because it's mattifying. See? So that way we get to keep the shine on the rest of the skin and keep it quite dewy looking. And then to set everything in place, I'm gonna use a setting spray. No powders whatsoever, setting spray. This is the Makeup Revolution one and it is the Oil Control. So this will keep the makeup on for us. I do a couple of sprays, so this is like my first spray, and then throughout the day again, another quick spritz. And there you go. That is how to apply foundation, cream contour and highlight, highlighter, blush, even reduce shine using one of these babies. Who knew? I just love these so much. Definitely let me know what you'd like to see next in another Monday makeup lesson. Maybe just fingertips, I don't know. Definitely let me know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up and check out the videos on the screen that you might have missed right now.